Hi, my name is Sally, and I'm your instructor, so you get to look and see what I look like. I wanted to do a video this week of the farm where I work at. This is my family farm. I think it's really important you guys understand that there's so many common threads in business, no matter what industry you're in. And since I've got a lot of experience with the ag industry, I thought it would be a good time to come out here and just kind of walk you guys through what I do out here, and you can compare it to what Chris and Erica are going through with their business and some of the decisions they have to make. So let me reach up here and grab the camera, and we'll go for a little tour around here. Okay. One of the things that I do, as I've mentioned before, is I work with the horses, and these guys really are my pride and joy. I've just put them out for the day because it's really cold down here in Georgia. It's like 35 for the high. But there are, I think you'll see all of them right there. One of the things that I had to make sure that I provide for them, because they are part of my assets, is adequate nutrition. So that's a big roll of hay that I just went and bought. That hay roll cost approximately $45, and it depends on who you buy it from and the quality of the hay. You'll see right here now I've got the stalls for when I bring them up in the morning, and they kind of stay in until, if it was a normal day, the last one would probably go out about 4 o'clock. In the stalls, I've got 2 that I'm still finishing up. We got to get the fronts on them. But in the stalls, what typically you'll find is a hay bin, and that trough down there is for their feed in the morning. Then they've got, I can zoom in on that. Each stall has got a block of nutrients in it, for them to use to help replenish any deficiencies that they may not be getting in their grain or hay, kind of like us taking a vitamin. And then there's got their water buckets. And then, of course, I've got to clean the stalls out this afternoon. Along with that, I've got a gator, John Deere gator, that I use to move the manure cart up and down the aisles, and when this is full, I turn around and use it for fertilizer on the cow pasture. Okay, this right here is the tack room, and inside the tack room is tack, the saddles and the bridles and all that. But there is also storage for feed. My handy dandy mouse catcher, who's taking it easy right now, and more storage in this old cabinet that belonged to my grandmother. This is something that you would compare it to for Chris and Erica, with them having a pantry or a large refrigerator, because I do have 2 refrigerators right here that I can use to hold medicines that need to be kept cool. Because every month I have to deworm the horses, and every 6 months I have to have the vet come in and give them their vaccination. Every 2 weeks I use this, which is a grinder, to trim their feet back. If I do not take good care of their feet, I will have horses that I will not be able to use in the future, because their feet will be so bad they can't be used. And that has happened before. Up here, I can zoom in on it. This little building is our well house, and this is where the water comes down from the well up by the house, and it comes down for us to use in the cow pasture if needed to be. And there's a line that runs from here down to the horse barn, and we've got 2 spigots right here. And then I've got another one over here by the wash rack, so I can keep the horses clean. This time of the year, when it gets cold like this, there's not a whole lot of baths that are given. But during the summertime, I usually use a lot of baths, especially in the spring, when I am the horses are shedding their winter coat out. That seems to be the best thing I found to help them, is a good bath. What you're looking at now is the bottom part of my arena. The ropes, it was pretty rainy and nasty yesterday, so instead of leaving the horses in their stalls, I opened the lower part of the barn up, the arena area, and put the ropes up and kept them on the back side. What you can see here is I practice a form of horsemanship called Pirelli natural horsemanship, and these are some of the toys that I play with, so to speak. Walking through the tires and the barrels down there. I'll use it's a game called the barrel board pinwheel, and I had to pick a board up and walk around the barrels completely. Out here is you will see the round pen that I use for training, and more toys out here. That's the maze. The two larger tires in the distance is for a figure 8. And then that right out there, the poles, are what we call cavalettis, or poles, that when I ride the horses over it, trot the horses over it, it teaches them to pick their feet up. And then, let's see if I can zoom in on it. Right behind the pen, this little object right here on the ground is just simply a bridge. You'll be very surprised at how many horses do not like to cross bridges. And then my area where I bring the horses out. Usually they get groomed every day, but with the pretty bad weather right now, we're just at 33 degrees thereabouts. The idea is to get the horses out, get them back on some hay, and they'll probably stand and eat that hay most of the day, because the hay is what they'll use to create body energy to stay warm. So that's kind of what I do in the afternoon. I'm trying to turn this into a profession. I enjoy working with my horses and helping other people learn about them and good horsemanship. In my experience, one of the best things you can ever do to learn leadership is to work with a horse, because horses, it's all about leadership with them. That's what they want more than anything, is for somebody to be a good leader and for them to know that they got it, that the horse does not have to worry about it, that the leader has got it. Which Chris and Erica will have to learn that lesson, because their employees want a good leader. They've got to, and you can see down through here, each one of these stalls costs about $1,500 to put up, and I've got 7 of them. So I've had to make a business investment in the stalls. This saddle right here that I use, if I had to replace this saddle today, it'd be about $4,000. So that's another business investment I have to make. Then I've got carrot sticks here that I use for training. That's another business investment. The brushes, as I pointed out a while ago, they are used. The grinder to take care of their feet are used, has an expense. The tack room is an expense. That's another thing Chris and Erica are going to have to learn how to set up, is their pantry, the storage area. How big of a tack room do you need? I think we talked about waiting lines. You know, if I made this tack room any bigger, coming out towards the arena, I would have to cut down on my arena. And that's not something I wanted to do. So I had to figure out how to put everything together so that I got the most use of my arena down here, because when people come in to work in the afternoons, they need an arena to have to work in. So you can see there's, even though I'm out on the farm and in the ag business, there are a lot of similarities in what Erica and Scott will have to, or a lot of the areas of decisions that Erica and Scott will have to make decisions on. You know, one of the things they might could think of, I've got a very open area here. If they had an area similar to this at their restaurant, in the back maybe, a patio type area for the summertime, what would they do with that in the wintertime? You know, I've toyed with the idea of dropping something like chicken house curtains on the side to knock some of the air off. But usually here in the south it warms up, so we do get to ride pretty much all through the summer. I mean, the winter. This is just a freak of nature right here with the cold snap. But like I said, that's a decision that I've got to make, and a decision that Erica and Chris will have to make about opening their area up and then being able to enclose it in the wintertime so they still will not lose that space as far as seating and having customers in. But like I said, I just wanted to take this time to to draw some correlations between my business and what they are doing. Operations of it is very critical. There's a lot of investments that go in. There's a lot of trade-offs that go in. And you have to make sure you got your goals set on how you want to do things. So I hope you enjoyed it, and look forward to seeing you in class. Take care.